Hey everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just going to wait just a minute for a few more people to arrive and we're going to get this 7-figure diva show on the road. Thank you so much for being here. Hey Joanne, lots of familiar faces. Hey Jenny, I'm looking at my other computer here, just seeing everybody come in. Hey Rosie, hello Dolores, welcome. Okay, just a few more minutes. What is Rosie saying? I just saw this and signed up 10 minutes ago. Oh, beautiful, Rosie. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Are we ready, Chris?
Yep, ready when you are.
Okay. Hey, Leslie. Hi, everybody. Okay, so everyone, welcome today to 7-Figure Diva. As I said, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited about today because it is such a pivotal time in history. Before I just keep going, I just want everyone, if you don't mind, in the chat box, just to make sure that you can hear me. Could you just say, yes, I can hear you. Let us know that everyone's got sound and we're ready for some magic. Just give it a couple of seconds. There's a tiny bit of a delay, so I'm just going to wait. Everyone good? Is everyone good? Yeah? Okay. We're going to commence. Hey, Leslie. Hey. Okay, guys. I just want to set a really deep intention for today. I already have done that, but I'm feeling called to do that right now. There's a tiny bit of a delay, so I'm just going to wait. And my husband... Good? Are you okay, Chris?
Sorry.
Okay, are we good, Chris?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So I'm just going to do a divine prayer, inviting you in right now to be fully present to this information, to receive what you need to receive and open your heart. Okay, we're sitting at a pivotal time in history. Women are remembering who we are, and it is exciting. It's electric. Sometimes you might feel like you're losing your mind because we're going into a whole new dimension. So I just ask you to say, I am grounded, I am present, I am aligned, and I am free. And we will commence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so today we're going to be covering the 3 secrets I used to go from broke to rocking my $1 million empire without working like a mad woman, without losing my sanity, without giving up the beauty and power of being a divinely present, loving mother, without completely obliterating my marriage with overwork and stress. And I've definitely been through my journey, which I'll be sharing with you today, claiming a deeper level of sovereignty, power, divinity, and ease. So if I can go from broken, impoverished, and burnt out to rich and lit up, so can you. This is available to everybody when we remember who the F we are, right? I'll get an amen on that, sisters. Okay, so it's time to step up into your business savvy and look at your business and your potency with fresh new eyes. And you're going to leave this workshop knowing exactly what needs to be done to scale your business to 7 figures and beyond. So let's do this. So this is going to be jam-packed. As I said, it's fluff-free. I give big, and so let's get really Diva Laser Lucid focused. And make sure that you stay to the end if you want to receive my $1 million Diva Money Map and my Divine Theater Healing Money Karma Drama Cleansing Meditation. So who am I? I am Ingrid Anna, and I stand for the economic, political, and financial power of all women. I'm a 7-figure strategist. I'm also a healer, a mystic, a priestess, a shamanista. And I'm a woman who really is just sitting before you, heart to heart, encouraging you to rise into your holy power. I am so tired of seeing so many talented divine women trapped in scarcity that goes way beyond how much money we're making. Because at the end of the day, the financial scarcity is really a mirror usually of what's going on inside. And so the work that I stand for and that I do is around releasing the karmic ties, bonds, and threads that create such suffering for women around the world. It is time to release that. It is time to take that pain and make it rain and shine and serve and receive, so that we will no longer sacrifice ourselves for the work that we're here to do in the world. So I think you might be pretty clear about who I am right now. I also have 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, capital raising, advertising, and TV development. I started my career off at a current affair at 20 years of age. I then got my job in TV at a show called Getaway. I've worked in advertising in the United States. I've had my own clothing line. So I have a fair amount of business experience. Actually, before, when I said I had a clothing line, I want to let you know that my journey has been quite an interesting one, and maybe you guys will relate to it, where you've had this sort of success, but yet you didn't really feel completely connected to your potency, because there was always something like kind of pulling you back. When I was living in New York City, working in advertising, selling and pitching shows, having my own clothing line, there was always this real sense of force, push, push, push energy. When I returned home after losing my company in New York to blackmail and starting up all over again from scratch, I really lost my way. I had so much anxiety. I felt like a complete and utter loser. And I started coaching, and really for a long time it was an utter head F for me, because I hadn't let that pain and that suffering go from my upbringing, from my past, from my conditioning, from the certain failures and losses that I'd had along the way. And it was the day that I gave birth to my daughter, and I've got a picture of her here, that I decided that I needed to wake up. I was being caught in that kind of overworking, hustle force energy. I was selling $100 sessions, maybe $500 packages. I remember being in hospital on the phone to clients. I really couldn't even get up out of bed to pee. And there I was, giving and giving and giving, trying to prove my value, my worth, wanting to help people so deeply from a really divine place. But yet I was burnt out still. I was trapped in this kind of really lack of dishonoring. I was dishonoring myself, and I didn't even realize it. And at that point, I didn't know really what to do, but I knew I needed to make a radical change. So I made a sacred, divine, holy vow. So as I was saying, despite being, featured in all these magazines, I already went through all my experience. I've been endorsed by Kate Winslet for my work with women, with my clothing line, Body Love. I just was in this perpetual struggle. So I was depleted. I was over the paradigm of push, push, push. And if we all just take a moment to really consider the influence that has shaped most of our lives, it's a masculine, patriarchal, fear-based, forceful energy. And we've all been suffering because of it. But we've come to a time where it's ending, absolutely ending for all of us. So I'm saying screw it to servitude and sacrifice. You can serve deeply, absolutely deeply, from a position of deep divine nourishment. So I was mentioning that there was always that element of self-sabotage. And so that's something today that I want to invite you to release forever. There was that belief that I was kind of like a nasty woman. Even today I was speaking to Lisa, who works with me, and sharing in my Diva Mind. I have a divine program called a Diva Mind, and it's just incredible, and the women are incredible. And I'm saying it's incredible not so much from a position of the work that I do, but from the collective consciousness of the energy and the vortex that is there through the sharing and the embodiment and the power of those women, right? And I was sharing today that as I'm rising up and up and up into a more delicious sense of ease, where I now have team around me that supports me. I have healers on my team to support the women as I keep scaling and scaling and scaling and doing the work that I'm doing. I mean, I would not have been able to do this before with all my baggage, all my stuff, all my karmic family wounding. I wouldn't have allowed myself to receive that. And so here I am now, and I'm in this more deeper sense of ease. And today I was feeling like, oh, I'm not struggling anymore. And I had to say to myself, you know what, Ingrid, it is safe to be here speaking to you guys, showing my power, and that I'm not suffering and struggling anymore. So before I got on this training, I had to sit down and sit with myself and give myself even more permission to be my holy divine self. And that is my invitation to you today. That we don't have to be suffering, that we don't have to be wounded, that we can move through that journey and rise from all the abuse, from all the stories, from all the suffering, from past lifetimes. And this lifetime, we can actually be free when we make a potent choice to do that for ourselves. Okay, so I continued at that, sacrifice, as I said, until I resolved those karmic ancestral lines. I was over poisoning myself energetically, financially, and also physically, because physically I suffered. And I see so many divine women suffering physically as well because of this impoverished, sort of poisonous state that we've bought into because of that outside messaging. So I made that sacred holy vow, and I'm inviting you to do that today. Some of my students are here today, my divine sisters, so I welcome you. And every day it's a remembrance, isn't it, into restating that holy divine vow that we will rise, because we're always going to new levels. And no, for those people who look at me and my success, I didn't marry for money. My husband works with me now, and through divorce and other financial investments he made when we met, he didn't have a lot of money. We barely had, we didn't have much to rub together. So we've come together. I was already doing this work before he came to the party. He's been a wonderful, wonderful support. And he also teaches in our Diva Mind. So I built my business by harnessing the laws of generosity, intent, and divine service. And I never work alone. So what do I mean by that? I mean that right now, as I'm sitting here before you, I feel divinely guided. I have opened the veil. My top crown is open to divine light. I'm connected to you from my heart, and that is how I've built my business. I talk a lot about money because we need money to thrive, to actually have the legacy, to make the influence that we need to make. The political, economic power needs to come back into the hands of women. But what I teach and what I stand for is marrying divine femme presence and generosity and love with the structure of the masculine. And it served me very well, right? So the potent deep truth is that clients aren't the source of your wealth. You are, right? Unless you have that feeling of really believing in yourself and seeing how divinely rich and holy you are now, it is really hard to receive wealth from the outside, right? It has to start as an alignment within yourself to see, I am a rich and powerful woman now. And from that standpoint, you have an energetic bedrock, an energetic presence that will then allow money, loving consciousness, connection, and influence and impact into your life. Is everyone getting what I'm saying? You don't receive wealth, you become the embodiment of that vibration by remembering that you are such a fucking epic, powerful, divine, and holy creature. You're not broken, you're not wounded, you are a potent, divine leader of the light. It's okay to have emotion. It's okay to feel. It's okay to feel that things are sometimes falling away, because they are. The old constructs are falling away and we are rebirthing through it. So sometimes it's going to feel uncomfortable, but I'm just reaching out to you to say that you are safe, and it is part of the process of ascension to let go of what no longer serves us. So when I was working, I was selling, these $100 spots, $500 packages, but really delivering like copious amounts of hours. So absolutely caught up in under earning with this sort of false sense of this service that was really causing me so much suffering. And when I got out of my own way and started to really ramp things up, I went from selling, $100 sessions to $6,000 packages. I sold my first one in full. That client went on to actually spend over $70,000 with me over a couple of years. It was when I was doing a lot more healing work. That client was just such a beautiful soul sister, an amazing experience. But what I was doing actually was I was kind of hiding behind one-on-one sessions. There's nothing wrong with doing one-on-one work. I still do a bit of it. But I knew that if I wanted to reach more people, I needed to get out there in a bigger way. I needed to take on a more leadership role, and I needed to package up all that work that I was doing one-on-one. I was selling sessions and packages, not sessions, they were packages, sorry, like $50,000 each, right? And that's wonderful and great. And I was doing done for you services and helping people with their branding and their website creation, the whole shebang, right? But at the end of the day, there's still kind of a cap on how many people that you can really serve at that level. So I created my Diva Business School a couple of years ago now. It sounds kind of a little bit false sometimes for me to say that it was only 2 years ago. I think it might be 2 years and 3 or 4 months now. I didn't even have a website. I had my own, ingridanna.com at that time, but I didn't actually have a website for CEO Diva Business School. I created this template, like a one-page pitch piece. I actually started running traffic for the very first time in my life. I created a beautiful opt-in that I still use today, which is an 8-part video series teaching people how to package up their brilliance to sell high-end. And I booked, I think it was 60 sales calls. And I did all those calls myself. I don't do a lot of them anymore, and I can talk more to that later on why that is. It's just because I'm so busy actually serving people and doing what I'm really here to do. And I now have a sales team who support me in that. But we sold 17 spots. And at that point, I had 3 different tiers. I had a $5,000, a $10,000, and a $15,000 tier. And that's how everything began to really, really rapidly flow for me at a deeper level. I was able to reach more people. I was able to sustain my energy, and I actually started showing the potency of my work on a bigger level rather than just doing these private sessions. And I see so many students do this still today where they're doing all this incredible work, but it's kind of hidden. And part of the teaching is you need to get out there and share what you stand for, what you do, and your brilliance, right? So we don't want to just keep that hidden. It needs to come out there on a larger scale so people can see you, hear you, buy from you, and get your potent magic, right? So that was a big shift. I was scared shizzless, but I did it anyway. So as I said, I went from selling $100 sessions to 6K packages, 40K plus also clients. I used that 2-part funnel that I just explained, which was that 8-part video series that I still use today. It was simple and powerful, and I scaled from there. Obviously, the call to action was to get on a call, and that is simply how it started. That's a great process, by the way. If you want to get up a funnel, just do something that's really, really deeply engaging, emotive copy, emotive content, show people who you are, and then invite them to get on a call with you. So I have global clients that I adore. Bridget is an amazing soul sister of mine. She sold out her first online program, deeply talented. She sold also working with me a 40K package paid in full. And Bridget's a really divine example of a woman who's just so talented as a channel. She's incredible, and yet she just really wasn't fully within herself owning the potency of her magic. So there's 2 things here. You could be the most powerful teacher, healer, strategist, Facebook ad manager, business coach in the world, but if you're not fully owning it on a deep visceral level, it is very hard for other people then to get really what you do and then also become your clients and buy from you. So there's always like this threshold of growth. When you begin to claim who you are, I call it resonance for riches, where you like, I am one of the most powerful leader divas in the world. I am truly powerful at what I do, and you truly own it in every single cell of your being. I will tell you without a shadow of a doubt, clients, you become magnetic. People flow into you because they need to trust you, right? And they trust you when you own your power. We've been fed a bit of a myth around that. I think women are so scared to own their power because we've been usually shamed for it. And that is an illusion that we need to now let go of. So we have incredible results with our clients because they do the work. We encourage them to do the work and show up. We get rapid healing because we deliver on our word and we don't muck about. We're not novices. I've been developing my craft for 20 years and I've packaged it up over 2 to 3 years of deep work to deliver on a service that is potent as fuck, basically. Okay, so Lisa's laughing at me. She was like, is she gonna swear today? I'm like, yeah, I feel like a little bit of a swear. It always livens me up a little bit. Lee is a beautiful healer diva. She was just talking a little bit more about my work, saying that it's really changing every cell of her being. Lee has been selling, packages at 3, 4, 5 times the rate that she used to. But I really wanted to just demonstrate here that the work that we do is not just business coaching. Learning business and strategy is just one part of the equation, right? But if you don't have the emotional IQ to hold that frequency, it's usually still going to be caught up in quite a lot of struggle. So the work that we do is deeply, deeply emotive. And deeply, deeply healing. And that's when we have that real lasting, solid, divine transformation. So trust me, you don't have to stress out your head out with crazy launches. I started with a list skinnier than a supermodel. I only had 500 people when I sold out my CEO Diva Business School. So now let's dive deep. I've already been going really into the content, so I'm just going with the flow here today with whatever is coming through me right now to share with you. But we're going to now start the 3 divine sacred secrets for 7-figure diva. How's everyone going? Is everyone tuned in? Everyone enjoying it? Connected? Mwah, kisses. Okay. So secret number 1 about getting rich, darling. So the 3 rookie mistakes that you're making that keep you broke, exhausted, and stuck in constant hustle mode. So if you want a constant stream of new clients to hit that buy button, you need to stop doing this now. Number 1, you must get out of hiding. So right now, no one really knows that you exist, and your chances are you're probably caught up in this perfection of illusion. Even when I see people doing videos, there's usually, when there's this holding back energy, then people hold back from you. And so there's like this veil, a veil of like a concrete almost veil of a block between you and your audience. So you do need to start taking up more space. You need to start using your voice and your messaging and your heart energy to deeply reach people. It's scary, but then when you get the gist of it, it actually is one of the most liberating acts that you'll ever make, because it allows you to then serve more deeply, have that impact, and also rise up financially. So content is queen and your IP is a liquid gold. So you really need to start becoming more of a media empire. You need to develop and craft potent content, and you need to get out there and lead and teach, right? So it needs to be aligned, activating, and consistent. You can't expect to build your empire by showing up 1 time a week or every other week, or kind of with 1 foot in, 1 foot out, kind of hiding who you truly are. The minute, if you've ever seen someone on Facebook or something and they're just fully embodying who they are with no shame, I mean, isn't it just electric? Doesn't it like light you up? It might trigger you. It might make you feel really uncomfortable. I'm sure I trigger people all the time, and that's great, because triggering shows us where we get tripped up, and then we can have radical healing. I decided long ago that, you know, of course I want people to like me, but my courage and my sense of provocativeness and boldness and speaking up and my mission to support women is at the heart of everything I do. So I'm not here trying to pussyfoot around waiting for people to give me approval or telling them they like me, right? My courage, which is coming from heart, leads the show. And that makes me stand up, show up, say what I need to say with no veil. I give myself the love that I need, right? I'm not asking it from the people who don't know me around the world. My intent is to show up and get out of hiding so that I can reach more people. That served me very well. Mistake number 2 really usually is around the packaging, pricing, and positioning, and it's usually kind of off, right? Where people are either under earning, they're wondering why they're not making enough money. They might even have quite a lot of clients and you're still trapped in that kind of scarcity. There might be resentment, there might be a lot of heaviness, exhaustion, and it's usually because you haven't positioned and priced your offer correctly. And there's kind of a little bit like what you don't know what you don't know. You're wondering why this isn't working. You're working so hard and you're not seeing it come up, you know, that money in your bank account, and you're feeling, you know that you're doing great work. People are getting great results. Like my clients used to get great results when I was under earning and broke, but I wasn't thriving, right? I wasn't nourished. So it's usually because also the strategy is out of alignment. So a lot of healers, mystics, women out there who want to do great work think that selling low ticket is the best way to really serve deeply. And at the beginning, guys, unless you have a sugar daddy or you've got 100K or 50K or even 20K to spend right up at the beginning with ads, and even if you have 20K, you probably need to be spending money on your funnel, messaging, your support systems. You don't want to start with low ticket, because look at what I've done here. I've tried to show you an example. If you're selling low ticket and say you have to sell, if you sold, a $97 program and you sold 515 units, you're going to sell $50,000. But then in order to do that, I think it was at a 4% conversion, which it depends on how well you sell. Some people might sell at 10%. Usually when you're doing projections on financial return, you'll be really quite conservative, and you might even want to do a projection of it like 1%. So we've done a 4% return. So you have to get $50,000 worth of income and to reach 515 people, you would need a reach of 12,875 people on your list, right? So, as I said at the beginning, I had 500 people on my list. How the hell was I going to even make 50 grand? It was impossible. So do you see the thinking is so out of whack? You're not going to be able to get the cash flow you need to keep your business going. So with the second example, we have the high ticket offer. So say you're packaging up a $5,000 offer, right? And some of you might be thinking, oh my God, could I actually package that up? And I've had heaps of students work with me and join me and absolutely want to vomit around that price point. And then they're like, oh my God, $5,000 is too cheap. So you absolutely can package up your brilliance and get at least a $5,000 offer up right from the get-go. And then you'd only have to sell, we've got a typo there, but 20 units of a $5,000 offer to get $100,000, right? And the reach then would only have to be 500 people. That's 500 people on your list, or 500 people in your community, on Facebook, in your group, to be able to make $100,000. So who's getting the point that I'm trying to make here? If you do not have a big list, if you don't have heaps of capital to spend on ads, you need to start high end if you want immediate cash flow. And you need immediate cash flow if you want to keep staying in business, if you want to really keep going. Okay, so this is why selling high end is the fastest path to divine compensation, nourishment, and sacred transformation for you and your clients. I'm just going to take a pause. Does anyone have a question? Everyone getting it? Okay. So the third mistake that I'm going to read to you today is your strategy pretty much probably sucks. So there's no sales and pretty much shiz cash flow. So I've kind of already gone into that. That means that the thinking is out of alignment. You're working hard, you're hustling, and there's probably way too much force, and your strategy just isn't the right strategy for you to get that cash flow happening. Okay. So you need to run your business like a business diva, not a novice, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're not going to get that radical change that you want, right? So it's more like just having a divine sense of awareness around the patterns that are probably creating way too much sort of struggle and scarcity in your life, right? So hopefully right now we're beginning to wake up to that right now, so you can actually go, okay, well, what would it mean to me now, and what could I do now to package up my brilliance, start selling a $5,000 package? What would it be like for me to get on video right now on a live stream and invite people in to work with me at that price point? And what type of energy shift would you need to have in order to receive that for yourself? So Rendina is a divine woman. She's a single mom living in California, and she came to work with me. She was probably oscillating between 5 and 10K. Within about 3 months, she went from that 10K mark to 24K, and then within about 6 months, she did her first multi-six-figure launch. Rendina, is not a normal creature by any stretch of the means. She is a really divine healer and teacher, and really these types of results come when people really show up and do the work, and she really did. She ran with every single thing I told her to do, and she began to really show up as that powerful leader, owning her voice like she never has before, calling in her groups for women to take a stand and not backing down. So she really got over that fear of needing to be liked, and she just ramped it up, and she's had formidable success. But that, you know, me sharing that with you guys is that, you know, Rendina left an abusive relationship and then started off her entire life with like basically no money from scratch. So it's another example that if she can do it, you can do it too. So secret number 2, the art of 7-figure sales without getting on the phone. So there's nothing wrong with getting on the phone and doing sales calls. I've definitely done plenty of them. But, you know, I have students and clients now doing Facebook Messenger selling high ticket offers. And that usually comes from that deep level of connection. So the connection on video, the connection around your voice, the connection with your community, developing that content, having that courage, the courage to show up, own your voice, show people who you really are and take a stand for what you believe in. The courage to let go of your baggage, the courage to let go of your fears and to just rise. And then that will bring the clients and the cash, right? So you need really the 3 parts of this process before you will receive the clients and the consistent cash. So it's connection, content, and that courage, really owning your voice and showing up. Now, when I booked, I did a webinar and I think I booked out around $500,000, and what happened there was I did a webinar, I did a training like this, and I just showed up. I sold a $7,000 offer, and I think about 39 women bought that offer. I think 2 people hopped on sales calls, and the rest just bought directly from that training. And then I sold about another 150,000 in private packages from that training. The first one that I didn't even get to go live. I had to do a live stream. Our whole internet crashed, and I then did 2 trainings over 2 weeks and brought in those divine, beautiful students. And that was a pivotal moment for me. And I was actually a little bit surprised. I didn't really know. You never know what's going to come of what you're doing, right? But I obviously did something right. And I suppose I was just honest and truthful and vulnerable. And I called women into action. So therefore, I wasn't getting on heaps of calls because people were buying directly either from my webinars, my live streams. And why do they do that? I think at the end of the day, when we tackle difficult subjects and we show people who we are, as I keep saying, it's the same message, I suppose, in different ways around being truthful and honest and vulnerable and getting our messaging on point, the clients will come. Okay? So secret number 3 is really then all about from nobody to booked out business stage. So the one simple principle that no one will tell you except me, maybe some people are sharing it in different ways, is really about how I went from charging those $100 hours to have a waiting list for my $40,000 packages. So the truth of the matter is, guys, you know, selling 10K packages, 5K packages, whatever you want, 30K, 50K packages is easier than selling $100 sessions when you work with the vibration of what I call Diva riches, when you own your power, when you know how to package things up properly, when you know how to hold power and presence on a sales call. If you do calls, you will be, if I couldn't even, like even right now, if I tried to sell a $100 session, I mean, it's completely out of alignment, number one, and people don't even really value it. It's crazy. You're wanting to do this great work. You're probably wanting to almost give it away for free, but it just creates this really strange, people don't unfortunately appreciate it. So when you get this down and right, and you really believe you can do it because you can, it's quite fascinating how this works. I mean, think about it. Could you imagine going out there tomorrow? I had girls join me and within 3 days start selling $10,000 packages. Some of them paid in full. Imagine. It's pretty incredible, pretty amazing, incredibly life-changing for everybody involved, including the client. So I think one thing that I need to mention here too is that packaging up and selling high-end isn't about slapping on this high price point onto a crappy offer, right? What you're really doing when you're selling high end is taking all your brilliance, all your love, all your wisdom, your energetic presence, and you're delivering a service that goes far beyond anything that you've ever done before, right? Does everyone hear what I'm saying here? You know, like when I've worked with clients who are struggling from, say, the death of their parents, chronic health issues, or someone's coming in to work with me in my Diva mind, and we're releasing all this karmic threads and bonds, and where I'm helping them radically move through everything that they're doing, that takes an enormous amount of energy and presence. And for me to be a clear channel, I need an empire to do the work that I'm doing. So underselling my services, I wouldn't be doing this work. I wouldn't even be here with you right now. I'd probably be some bedridden broke mess trying to figure out how to do this. Is everyone getting that too? Oh my gosh, it's quite fascinating the whole way this works. So really at the end of the day, you need to package up your brilliance and rewire your relationship to selling. You need to rewire your relationship to yourself, and you need to rewire your relationship with money. Money is a tool, right? Money isn't innocent. It's not bad. It's not nasty. It doesn't create wars. Men create wars, right? Men create wars. Power-hungry men who are working through ego and power control, right? When a woman who's a healer, a mystic, a visionary leader who's here to serve women, we use money for the healing and the betterment of our families, our children, our communities, and those we serve, right? So selling must become sacred, and it must come from a position of love. So when I'm teaching all about sales and you're getting on a call or you're getting on a video, it's a sacred process. You're not trying to get anything from anyone. It's not sleazy. It's not nasty. It's a divine, sacred invitation calling them to rise. If you're an ethical leader, if you honor your word, if you do what you say you're going to do and deliver on that service with their level of excellence and mastery and love, you can charge whatever you want to charge, right? And the market will bear it if you know how to articulate and position yourself as a leading brand, right? So the Femme Fortune funnel is another really important part. You do need to learn how to drive traffic and take a stand for what you believe in and call people into action, shifting from unknown to leader diva. All of you guys who have seen me here, some of you who, a divine lady joined today, I think it was Dolores, who said that she hadn't heard of me before. Was it Dolores? Hey Dolores. She heard of me 10 minutes before this training, right? How beautiful. How did that happen? You know, it's because I'm also running traffic. I'm spending money on ads to reach more people that are going to resonate with my message, people that I can serve and support. So it's really important when you're running a funnel. I think a lot of people think, you know, you just gotta, you know, pop up an ad, throw some dollars into a funnel and it's all just going to work seamlessly, and that is not the case. What's really important here, if you want a funnel that converts, is you have got to get your messaging and your voice on point. The whole thing has to work like a well-oiled, juicy diva machine. So whenever I see people rushing around a funnel or people are complaining why their ads aren't working, it's usually energetically, emotionally, and strategically completely off point, right? And it's actually quite solvable, but you do need to have the awareness that that messaging needs to be laser lucid clear, and it needs to be in alignment with what you're here to teach. It needs to be a complete soul alignment, right? You can't fake this. It has to be what you're here to teach. I'm working with a divine woman in my Diva mind, and we had a private session together this week, and she sent me her offers, and I was like, you've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like you haven't fully claimed yet what you're here to teach. I can feel it. I can feel it when you feel that viscerally, like the goosebumps that you get when someone's being really, really very, very clear. They're not disowning their power, and it's like, boom, diva. You feel it. It has a high vibe resonance, and it's exactly, you've got to do that work. So right now, if you're selling something or doing something in your work, you might actually be probably 70% or 80% there. You may need to go deeper with your intellectual property. You may need to go deeper with your messaging and your teaching. Right? So take a moment after this training too to really ask yourself, what am I here to teach? What is coming through me? What is my divine soul purpose? Don't craft offers or a business that is not truly in alignment with what you're here to teach, because the truth is you can monetize anything when it really is in alignment It needs to be something that brings you joy. It needs to be something that lights a fire under your, in your, I was going to say yoni, in your body. You can feel it. You are turned on and lit up, and it drives you. If you're packaging something up that's kind of not really the embodiment of your true calling, it's kind of broken, and people can feel it. So this is a new femme dimension era, and I've already really covered that. It's about standing in your truth, in your message, and really claiming abundance for yourself as your holy, divine, and sacred birthright. So if you don't value you, no one else will. The law of Diva generosity. So you need to just demonstrate your value and own your worth. Why do you think I also put up testimonials? Why do you think that that's so important? Because it demonstrates that I am the real deal. Me sitting here telling you that I'm good at what I do is not enough. It's like also comes from a sense of almost force or proving. Really, at the end of the day, we need to learn to cultivate story and tell stories and demonstrate our ability and our presence and show that to the world, right? So you want to give away some of your work for free, but you need to charge premium rates for your time. So when I charge for my rates now, they start at a minimum. My discounted rate is actually $2,500 US an hour, and I barely sell any of those because I'm too busy actually serving my divine Diva Mind community. And I used to want to barf. To me, to say that that number out aloud would make me feel incredibly uncomfortable. So there's definitely been a level of healing and ascension that's gone on for that. But because I work so strategically, because I have the 20 years of experience, because I don't muck around, and because I can literally craft someone's funnel in an hour, it's worth that plus some. And I own that with this sense of not ego, it's about reverence for myself. It's about honoring myself. And why am I sharing that with you? I'm sharing that with you because I'm passing it on to you. If you do not honor your work, if you do not honor your value, I'm sorry, society is going to reflect back to you that you are dishonored and disvalued, right? So don't wait for permission for anyone. One of my divine students has been going through in the ascension process. Some things happened in her personal life, and she's been called to rise up even into more power. She's done really, really well, and so brilliantly, but now she's been called to go to a next level. And she said to me today, I sort of feel like I'm not seen, and I'm sort of on the sidelines. And I said, but you've got this, you know, with all due respect, I'm going to be really clear with you here. It's like this little girl energy. She's waiting for someone to say, own it, claim it, embody your femme, embody being a woman. You're not a baby child anymore. You're not the meek and mild, timid girl that was scared anymore. Love your inner child, and do not wait for anyone to give you permission to rise. And if you do need anyone, please take it today. Please rise. We need you. You need you. The world needs you. Go out there and show us what you're made of, right? And I will be applauding you. I will be applauding you, because we need thousands of us to rise up into our power right now to create the radical shifts that we need on this planet. I got that out. I would like to share a little story about Anu Grace, who's an absolute diva, beautiful student of mine, client of mine. Anu already had a decent following when she came to work with me. She's lives in the United States. She's Finnish, and she has a very big Finnish following. And she is a divine high priestess, goddess, angel in channel, and she also teaches business as well in Finland. And I really helped her to really craft her message, own her voice more, and she's, within the last 2 weeks, she just did $200,000 from 2 webinars, and she's really transformed not only her business, but herself. Her ability to really communicate, her ability not to hold back. We were doing a test one time, and she was telling me a beautiful story about her webinars, and she shared it with the group, and this is something that I've gotten permission to share. And sort of when she holds back and she worries about her community, thinking that she's too full on, or she's too much in her power, or shining her light too much, you know, she won't trigger people as much, right? But she doesn't sell as much. She only sold 50,000, which to some people that's nice. It's a great amount of money, but it's not just about the money. You know, if people aren't buying your product, they're not getting the healing usually that they need, or the support that and the love, and the transcendence and the transformation they need. So it's actually a disservice. So she only sold 50,000. And then she said, when I show up in my full presence and do what you tell me to do, then people, yes, they get pushed, but that's part of that's part of the rite of passage. That's part of why we're here. We're activators. We're going to push people's buttons, and then they will have a choice on what they want to do with that, right? They have a choice on, am I going to listen to this, heal, ascend, take responsibility for myself, look at why I'm being triggered and tripped up, and then have a healing here, and then go on this journey, or will I run away? And some people will run away, and that is okay. Then sometimes they will come back to you. But there's far more people who are going to take a stand with you and join you on the journey. So let's get honest about what might be keeping you awake at night, the thoughts that are keeping you stuck in that struggle and scarcity and smallness. And I just want to make a point. Even the women who may be here, who are making 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month, 50 grand a month, wonderful. That might be just absolutely enough for many people. But if you're here to be a real leader, usually it's a massive legacy of 7 and 8 figures. You are probably still, well, you're probably still under earning to a degree, right? So I spoke to a beautiful woman who's going to be a private client of mine, and she is already selling $50,000 packages. She sells about 10 of them a year, but she feels like I did when I first launched CEO Diva Business School. It's sort of hidden. She's hidden. She wants to reach more people. So it's not just about making more money at all. It's about doing that work and reaching more people. And she really is completely still unknown because she's only reaching those 10 people a year. She's good at selling. She's great at what she does, but she wants to serve hundreds of women, even thousands of women. And that's what we're going to be doing. So she's going to go from the 50Ks or 500K to the multi-million dollar empire, right? As she's serving and working with a lot more energetic expansion because her calling is calling her and asking her to do something far greater than she is right now. So you might be asking yourself, will I be able to charge the $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 that Ingrid's talking about for my packages and build to 6 figures and then 7 figures and beyond? So you might have that question going on, and that's completely natural. I know that when I was struggling and in that poverty consciousness and that sense of lack, it was probably really hard to kind of visualize myself doing that. Even earning 7 figures was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That just feels so foreign to me. So I get it. How will I learn and manage everything, right? The technical know-how, the mindset, the marketing without turning into a maniac. Good question. And can I actually do this and remain heart-centered without becoming a money-hungry scumbag? And do you really have what it takes, right? And the answer is, of course you do. You do, because you're a holy divine woman and you will be supported and you can learn this. Making money online is an art, and it is something that is absolutely learnable, and you do absolutely have the talent and the ability to do this. So I want you to feel really deeply into right now what it would be like to have clients clamoring to work with you, people chasing you, people booking in for those calls, doing your webinars with grace and fun and ease, just being yourself, not having to put on any sense of illusion or perfection, because God knows I am certainly not perfection, right? And just being your heart-centered self. Cash and clients flowing in, and that sense of calm and confidence and sexiness and lightness and pleasure pouring out of your soul. How would that feel, right? How would it feel to be free? Because that's what we're really inviting you to look into here, being a free woman, a woman that's not confined by patriarchal rules, family conditioning, social conditioning about what it is to be a fucking, excuse me, good woman. That just came out, could not help it. Okay, anyone here who can't handle swearing probably isn't my ideal client. Sorry, I do try to tone it down sometimes, but I'm not really into controlling myself. So I'll just put that point out there. You've probably gotten that by now. I probably didn't need to say that. Just let me have a sip of water. Cheers to us. Okay. Quite frankly, when I do trainings and any of my teaching, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth because I can't control myself. I don't want to control myself. I don't want to have to get it right. It is frigging exhausting to live like that. It's frigging exhausting to have relationships like that. What I do want to have is a heart connection. What I do want to have is transparency. What I do want to have is a feeling of joy and fun in my business and life. And you know what? When I'm in that way, I attract women who resonate with me. They are a similar stone or cut from the same thread. We are literally almost the same entity, almost. The vibration of who comes and works with me and comes into my vortex is in alignment, right? They completely get it. Such an easy, beautiful transference and exchange, and you will have exactly the same thing when you are just true to yourself. So it's time for light workers and visionary women of the world to become wealthy and rich on every level. So I know that when I was impoverished financially, what was going on behind closed doors was so much violence of myself, abuse of myself. There was this corrupted energy that was filled with abuse, self-loathing, pain, grief from the abuse that I suffered as a child, unresolved issues around men, around money, around my sexuality. So when we are rising up into financial riches, the only thing that I know with the work that I do, maybe it's very masculine, a very masculine process or business structure that you're going into. It's just, I don't know, it's just very concrete. That's not what we do here, and that's not how I could actually do it for myself. You've always got to really have that emotional, energetic, cellular alchemy. When you release all those constructs and the confines and the poisonous shiz in your body to liberate, open your heart, open your life, open your soul up to receiving divine abundance, right? Okay. So what does it really take to be a booked out boss? Very simple. It's just a powerful choice and an unwavering decision to act, to invest in yourself, to back yourself fully, to let go of the constrictions and the doubt, and to fully claim and embody your power. It also takes support, sisterhood, and strategy, and love. Lots of love. Lots of love, 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 love. You need to be held because you're making so many deep divine transitions, right? And being held and being supported, not feeling like we need to do it all our own. And that was one of the things that was just opening up my heart so much today. And I was explaining to Lisa, and I'm going to share it now. I could not do this work that I do without support. I have a team of healers and mystics. I have business strategists and coaches that come in and help my whole team. I have so much support now in my home. And when I didn't really believe that I deserved that, when I had all these restrictions, Lisa's picking up the power. It's okay. I don't think it's going to run out of fuel. Thank you. I wouldn't allow that in. There was a level of still suffering. Even though I was making a lot more money, there was still this level of burden and carrying. And it's absolutely, number one, not needed. And it actually drains us. It drains the life force. And it actually puts a cap on our ability to reach more people. So as I've grown my empire, I work, people know me, people who are sitting on this call who work with me now. A lot of girls showed up to, I don't know, wanted to hear me today, support me. Thank you for being here. You might want to share some of your experience. I give big, right? I deliver on my word. I show up and I do my work. However, I have this support in my life that allows me to keep my frequency high, to be there for my women, to show up in a way that doesn't drain me. So I actually work less now. I finish my days at least at 2 or 3 o'clock every afternoon. I used to have severe adrenal fatigue. So when I worked in New York and I was just this complete and utter maniac, all this fear-based consciousness driving the show in the background. So in order for me to really honor my energy, I think a lot of women think I'm going to lose something. I'm going to lose, it's still the sacrifice. I'm going to lose my family. I'm not going to be a good mother. I'm not going to be able to be there for my partner. I'm not going to be able to have more children. I'm going to suffer, right? You're not going to suffer. When you have the structures and the systems and you allow support in, you will be held. And I feel healthier, more abundant, more free because I've learned how to scale my business. That's also what I teach. So what was I saying here? Oh yes, the mindset and energy work that I really needed to do. That was huge, you know. So really when we're cultivating the sovereign diva power and that wealth juju, the level of mindset, the level of frequency and energy has to go to a whole other dimension for you to receive it in. So I hope through this journey, how far are we in, by the way?
We're nearly at an hour.
Wow, I've gone like Speedy Gonzalez today. I hope you've really enjoyed today about really have a deeper understanding of what it takes, you know, to have a 7-figure diva empire. And you can absolutely do this. Does anyone have a quick question? And I'm going to invite you all in. I usually don't do that, but I feel like I want to answer something. Does anyone have a question for me? Just keep going.
Yeah, there was a couple from earlier.
What?
I think her name is Lee Rivera. She asked what if you have a super targeted client base? So she's a coach for psychotherapists.
She can still, I mean, I hear what she's saying. I'm pretty targeted. I think that she can, but I do have, there's a lot of people. I think psychotherapists are great. Would it only be psychotherapists? You know, are there other therapists that she could also look at? But I think a psychotherapist is fine. Using high-end model for that is great. High-end group, you could have your own mastermind. You can do the one-on-one to begin with and really understand what you need to teach to develop that intellectual property and be paid to do that, and then craft it up, create your own masterminds. You can have your own high-end retreats. It just depends. I need to ask you more, and we can talk more about it at the end, about, well, what is it that you're really here to teach them? What are you actually, what's the journey that they're going to be going on? And then I can help to craft a little bit more of that. But the high-end business model would work brilliantly for you. Once again, you've got a targeted niche, which is great. It can really help with your positioning. You can become that go-to woman. And remember, you're going to be charging higher, quite significant rates for the work that you're going to be doing, because you're going to be delivering a sublime service. So I hope that answers your question. So does anyone here want to hear about how I can deeply, deeply support you to make more money with a heckload more grace, have an epic good time, and really own your divine, holy diva fire power? Is anyone wanting to do that? Yes? Yes, yes, yes? Okay, good. So divas, I run a divine program. It's called High-End Empire. We have a few different tiers, but today I'm going to share with you, it's one of my highest offers, and it has direct access with me, my team, and my husband. It is my most sacred, potent work that I do because I'm available to you Monday to Friday, and we teach 4 live classes every single month, and we have divine healing classes as well, plus weekly live classes with one of my leader healer divas who's on my team. So it is literally like the vortex of all vortexes of potent divine healing and business strategy, I think, pretty much on the planet. And I cannot wait to share a little bit more about it with you. So the Diva Mind really is a 1-year business school. You get laser diva coaching. I've said 2 live calls here at 90 minutes to 2 hours every single month. But because we have grown and because of my level of commitment and service, we've made it 4 classes a month, 4 live classes. So basically they're Zoom classes like what you're seeing here with me, where we have direct interaction. I actually get to see you. How they go is I'm looking at your funnels, I'm looking at your offers, I'm looking at your messaging and your ads, and it's really deep strategy work. We also do the healing work on top of that. So I'm feeling an energetic block, then I will talk to you about it, we'll bring it up and we'll work through that. You also get 12 live priestess energy healing classes throughout the year. It's actually now times by 3. It's actually 36 classes. So the way that we're doing that is when I teach and when I sell and when I'm here to serve my students, we are a little bit different about how we run things. We constantly kind of change things in terms of giving you more. So we're always going to give you what we say we're going to give you, and then we usually deliver even more than that, especially when we feel that that's what our students need. So what I mean by that, just this week I added in 3 15 to 20 minute sessions. They're actually held by the priestess diva Rebecca Kane, who's an amazing kinesiologist from London, and she sits there and does these clearings and healings, and they're really potent. And so it's something that I've added in at no additional cost to ensure that the students and the divas and the sisters there are divinely supported. So the first module that you get, you also get a curriculum. It's pretty much like an MBA in business, right? It's very, very deep. Every single module that we give you has at least 2 to 4 hours of video. We have swipe files and templates and worksheets. In module 1, how to package up your brilliance to get clients lining up to pay you the big bucks, for instance. We have private retreat examples where you can basically take the copy, make it your own, and start selling one-on-one private retreats between $7,000 and $10,000 up to $15,000 for a 2 to 3 day immersion, right? We have all these templates so that you can literally plug and play. That's why the girls who come to work in the Diva Mind start selling very quickly. Not everyone does. It depends on sort of where they're at emotionally, but I'd probably say 8 out of 10 people that join start selling in the first month of working with me. I think Joanne's here today, and Joanne did, I can't remember, 20 grand or 30 grand in her first few months. Shireen did 30 grand. Ninki, who's just done a beautiful video testimonial for me, has done 33K in 2 months. How does that happen? You know, and it's sort of like you see all these people on all these other coaches online talking about money, and this is not a get rich quick scheme at all. What this is a way for you to make money that's completely different from anything that you've probably ever been taught before. And because we're holding that energetic presence for you, people start selling rapidly, right? So it really is a co-creation. I give 100%, my team gives 100%. The content that we have, the digital content platform that you also get is enormous, and it's so thorough. But at the end of the day, the women that do so well in our program are the ones that are co-creating, of course, because they have to do the work, right? And they're the ones that get results. But it's really wonderful that basically the majority of everyone in there, I don't really know anyone who lags behind, because the energy is so potent. And it's not just because of me, it's because of the women who are there collectively supporting each other. If anyone's here and wants to share about the energy of the group and how powerful the women are, let everyone know, because they are so divine. And they're not competitive or anything like that. We don't stand for any of that. Everyone is there to support and love each other into brilliance and greatness. So module 2 is the non-sleazy way to get qualified leads on autopilot. So this is all about your funnels and your systems and creating that automatic flow of potential prospects or prospects coming in and potential clients coming in every single day into your funnel and into your business. Module 3 is a comprehensive training on sales, really working from a heart-based. We cover everything from the strategy of it all, which at the end of the day kind of gets thrown out of the window. We have this whole process, we have sales scripts, the whole thing. But at the end of the day, what I teach there is when you come from heart and presence to really, really tune into the woman that you're selling to, it's one of the most easy, sacred, and potent acts that you'll ever go through. There's nothing kind of calculated about it or forced about it at all. Module number 4 is Vavavoom Video Vixen. So this is all about crafting your messaging, developing really compelling way to really draw people in, have people really watch your videos, how to show up. We get you actually practicing your video from the moment that you come into the group. We're getting you to claim who you are, your messaging, so that anything that's sort of stuck or resistant begins to clear at a rapid rate, so that you can own your voice really and show up online with this Holy Diva presence. Module number 5 is rolling in cash and copy creatrix. So this is really how to write compelling sales copy, video copy, ad copy. It's something that I'm good at. I also help, I'm quite good at, I actually help a lot of copywriters craft their copy. So I spent also many years as a journalist and as an ad copywriter in advertising. So that's where that experience comes from. And so it's such an important skill to learn, because unless you can really articulate and craft the essence of what you're about, it's really hard to captivate and draw people in. So module number 6 is Facebook Ads Diva Masterclass. This is all about how to set up your ads in your, what's it called, Chris? The back end.
Power Editor.
the Empower Editor. You can tell I don't really do much of that. Empower Editor, and so that you can start running your own ad campaigns. We actually have a lot of healers and divas who come to do the Diva Mind High-End Empire, and they still do their healing work, but some of them, I've got a couple, I think about 2 or 3 girls, and also business coaches who want to do done for you services. I have a beautiful student and client, Sally Ann, who is an ad manager, who is recently just started to sell $10,000 packages. She was under earning, she was working so hard and just over giving, and she's now raised her price to $15K. I now have Stina, who's also a healer, who actually works on my team, who went from launching her new funnel business, so through learning a lot of the training that we give, went from 0 obviously as a startup to 15K in 45 days, and has now doubled that just 3 or 4 weeks later. So the work, why am I sharing that with you? Because the work and the messaging and the business acumen that you end up learning here will be the bedrock for so many different potential businesses that you might not even see down the line, right? You may decide that you're a business coach, but you want to set up your own funnel business, and because of the training that you get here, you set up a whole other sideline business, like a Facebook ad management and funnel building company as well, on top of your business coaching business, right? That could easily be a $100K a month business, by the way. Easily. There's so many people in need for it, and people do a really kind of average job because they skim and they don't understand messaging, and so the whole thing falls over. So if you can become really good at that, then you've got liquid gold. Module 7 is I Am a Rich Woman Miracle Money Matrix, or Money Miracle Matrix. Is a really deep healing program or module. Every module that we have is like a journey and a program unto itself. It's hard to articulate that. Lisa, you can maybe say something. You've also run through the program on like what that is like, the content. It's not like a basic kind of module. We go deep into every area. I don't leave anything off the shelf. I give big. So it's not like, oh, I'll give you a portion of what I know and then I want to sell you another 3 or 4 or 5 different programs. That's not how I've created this platform and this energy around my work. I give you the full shebang, because that's how I want to do it, and that feels good to me. Module number 8 is 6-star brand brilliance, really all around how to own your brand, your presence, how to cultivate that. It goes way beyond your photos and the kind of aesthetic of your brand, and we're also into the messaging and your offerings once again, and just a deeper level of presence around cultivating, also an energetic presence around what your brand stands for, because at the end of the day, you know, you can put, like I have today, I've got my hair, my makeup done, but if I don't have my brand and my messaging and that vibration of who I am and what I stand for, there's no brand. You can't just slap a nice website up and expect to, you know, bring in and draw in clients. You've really got to learn how to cultivate an iconic, divine, authentic brand. Okay, so then module 9 is our sold out spiritualist stratagem. It's actually a deep energy type healing program. I keep calling them programs because they are. This is a program unto itself, and this is all about cultivating sexual energy, sensual energy and power to really create and cultivate deep aligned strategy to build your empire. Module number 10 is all about launching. So whilst we teach high-end and how to set up your high-end empire, whether it's one-on-one, group high-end, masterminds, retreats, we also do, once you've got that cash flow coming in, women are quickly in the group segmenting and going off into other elements too, and having a lot more digital offers and whatnot, so that they're making money while they're sleeping. So we teach you all about that launch phase of really crafting your digital offers as well. And then also launching, the best way to go about launching, say selling your 20 spots in your first mastermind. So that's what it covers in a very systemized way. I think the most important thing here is to realize that the value here of what we're doing is quite enormous. And we give big. So the total value of our 1-year business school with all those live trainings is $55,970. And that is what it is. That is not some sort of number that we've just sort of pulled out of our butts. It's actually what we give big. So who's this worked for? I've worked with women all around the world, some of the most amazing, incredible leaders, best-selling authors, women who are stuck in struggle, astrologers who are just ready to get over their shiz and make money, spa owners. I've got women who started off a nutritionist. I've got my beautiful client Liana May, who was selling out her high-end offers while her, as this was in her words, she started selling $6,000 packages while her nutrition colleagues, when she was studying nutrition, were still trying to get a business card together. She's now gone on to open up her own spa, so worked with people who, like entrepreneurs, digital marketing strategists, Facebook ad managers, healers, tarot readers, yoga teachers, intuitives, a lot of channels, psychotherapists, and lots of business coaches, health coaches, and nutritionists. And so one of the things that we also do is we also look at how are we going to craft your intellectual property? How are we going to take you from maybe kind of not fully owning yet what you're really here to teach? And I usually, the way that I work, will get a download pretty much on day dot when you come into this energy and this vortex with us and join High-End Empire. Is that I can really see where you might be pulling back so that we can craft an even deeper level of content so that you can charge more for it as well, but also deliver that really big divine sacred service that you're here to deliver. We have this beautiful woman here, Paula. Paula came to me and she just wasn't selling enough. She has a mastery. She teaches women how to receive more deeply. She runs retreats, and we also cultivated a new program together. She sold out through really she had a lot of fear around being vulnerable and being seen not as an expert actually, and having people kind of judge her. And we had to work through that emotion, and then we started crafting, like we created a whole big funnel together, and really got her messaging on point. And then something really beautiful started happening. She started to fall more deeply in sort of like a peace and alignment with her truth, her power, and she started connecting with her audience in a whole new way. She sold out her retreats. She keeps selling out her retreats. She booked 80 sales calls from her first webinar in 5 days. That didn't happen in 5 days. That happened 5 days after the webinar, and has now created a really robust, divine, and sacred business. There's just such a joy in her. She's an incredible woman. Like all my students. Henna is a beautiful diva. She is from Finland, and she has an angelic healing school teaching women how to really connect and manifest with angels. She also has a business dream school. It's called the Business Dream School, and she sold her first 50K from her first webinar and sold 30 spots. Just last week, Henna, just from doing her live stream, sold $15,000 just from her live streams before even doing her webinar, which she has another one this week. So I just feel deeply honored to be part of this journey. These women are taking what I have to teach and implementing it, and that's why they're getting the results. Who else have I got to cover here? Love Day, who's an incredible healer, going through a massive upgrade right now. Love Day made $51,000 in her first 3 months of joining High-End Empire Diva Mind. She is an amazing healer, and she's about to go to a whole other level with her work. I can feel it coming, which is just amazing. So I've shared those stories and those case studies, and I just want to take a moment. Some of those women probably are on the call right now, and I just want to say you're amazing. I adore you, and you're incredible. And those women are going to keep going on and building more, serving more. And I think the thing about this training that I want to say is once you get this and integrate this training, you have it for a lifetime. It's never going to leave you, or you're not going to be able to lose it. It literally changes the very fiber of how you do business, right? So, as I said, the whole total of all those modules and all those live coaching trainings, which is actually not 24, it's now 48, and the pre-sess trainings is 36. It sounds like a lot. You can choose to join them whenever you want. We have a lot of European clients now, so we've got some in the morning, some at night, so you can choose to join the ones that you want to. You can stay on for 10 minutes, you can stay on for 15 minutes, you can not show up if you're busy, and we will answer questions for you, and we give you the time codes of where we answered the question. Really, the biggest thing here is to also make sure that people have momentum. Marcia is another beautiful client of mine who did $39,500 worth during the 90 days of High-End Empire. She was in my first round of High-End Empire. Oh my gosh, Amber, she's a beautiful designer, amazing woman. She's now completely selling out her packages. When I found her, actually, we connected together on a group. I don't know how it was or something, and she was, I don't know, we started writing to each other on Messenger, and she was selling $100 packages pretty much like me, and she sold 3 $5,000 packages in about 2 to 3 months, I think, in High-End Empire. And now a year on, she's just booked out and doing incredibly well, and she has 2 children and she's doing it with a baby, so she's amazing. Robin is another amazing diva. She sold her first 10K offer in 3 days. She also has a pretty big list. She picked up a book deal, which probably had nothing to do with me, but she picked up a book deal during that time of coming in. She's restructuring at the moment, but she's moved past 6 figures, and she's only been with us, I think 3, maybe 4, 5 months. And her potency of her work is going to a whole other dimension. She's incredible. And we have so many. I mentioned Stina earlier. I have Ninki, who did 25K. I've actually had to change some of the numbers. I did this training 2 weeks ago, and the numbers have already changed because the women keep selling. Tarzan is an amazing copywriter. She's now doing 20K a month easily, if not more, and now she's delving in. She's also a mama about to have her second baby, and now going into creating her own digital products, teaching freelance writers how to make more money online. Shireen, 33,000 in 2 months, an amazing business coach, teacher, and funnel builder, amazing woman. She is just a potent woman and just doing so incredibly well. And I am going to complete with testimonials and case studies. But really, to be honest with you, I can't keep up with them, to be honest. Like, I keep trying to take my screen captures on my phone of all the sales and the testimonials that are coming in. When that happens for me, I literally want to cry. Because I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for their clients. I'm happy for their families. I'm happy for the healing and the shifts that are happening on the planet, because women are rising up into positions of leadership like this, where we're no longer sacrificing ourselves to create the political changes and the social changes that we need. Women need sustenance. We deserve to make money. And when a woman fully claims that for herself and gets it, and has come to me feeling quite scared, I'm like, I'm in awe of them all, really. I am just blessed to be part of it. So bonus number 1, we also include Laser Diva coaching Q&A calls valued at $5,970. So all of our previous calls, everything gets stored into a vortex that you can tap into for a lifetime. You also get all of this content for a lifetime. We also have my 5 Slay, Pray, and Hit Your Pay Day, Divine Femme Sacred Audio Recordings, and 4 Energetic Healing Invocations. I'm always doing prayers and healing invocations on live stream in the group. I'm always channeling and sharing messaging with clients and students. But we also have these beautiful downloads that you can put on your mobile phone, everything around selling, messaging, crafting offers, so that you can go into a whole new level of releasing karmic threads and bonds and contracts that have been keeping you stuck. So they're all created by me for you. We also have bonus number 3, which is our Sales Goddess Breakthrough. It's a video package that we have, an additional deeper dive into sales and connection, so that you can manifest and sell your ass off with grace and love. We have bonus number 4, which is our Lion Fire video. It's a video class. They're all video classes pretty much, apart from the meditations. And this is really the sacred recipe that you need to really convert and connect deeply from a heart presence on live streams, and really dissolve objections and craft your offer. So a lot of times, guys, when I'm showing up and doing my work, it just looks, oh, Ingrid, she knows how to speak, or she's got a gift of the gab, whatever. But really, I have mastered a craft around messaging and reaching people. And then I pass it on to you, how to really tell story, how to really connect, how to dissolve people's fears through the content and messaging that you're here to produce, right? And that will see you consistently selling when you get that right. And it is a skill, because women have been told to shut down, shut up, stay silent, don't take up too much space, that it's vulgar almost to take up space. And I say, well, BS to that. And let's learn how to really craft and sell. The men are pretty good at it. They do it in a different, complete way to us. But there's something to be learnt by the men there who are making a lot of money. They don't have shame, right? And also women judge women. And so I just send love to those women, because they're usually caught up in scarcity themselves, and they usually need loads of love and healing. So I'm not worried about if a woman finds it uncomfortable or something around me really owning my power, because I know that I'm doing her more of a service by being my truthful, authentic self and connecting with her in that way. And usually those women tend to come around. If anyone here has a lot of fear about being judged and ostracized by people by really showing who you are, I just want to give you one thing. And that is, what if you had more love and more connection and more presence and more joy and more sisterhood and just more yumminess in your life because you were brave enough to show up? Because that's the reality. Because when you are truthful and authentic and ethical and loving and you take a stand, usually what tends to happen is you don't get judged and you don't get ostracized and you don't get picked on or bullied by anybody, really, because I don't really stand for that, because I don't judge and ostracize myself. Of course, there's a journey of deeper loving of myself, and I go through that every day of reclaiming and remembering who I am, but there's a set point that I've established within myself, right? So I don't get that, and if I do, I don't friggin' take it personally. It's not about me. It's about their pain. It has nothing to do with me, and it only becomes personal if I allow it to become personal, right? Okay, bonus number 5 is how to be your own PR superhero. So you're going to be learning around how to get booked in media, on TV, in magazines, and it's valued at $997. So to sum it all up, guys, we've got our 10 core modules of High-End Empire. You've got the 1-year business school with all that live training, and you've got the 5 bonuses. And if we total that all together, you're looking at a total value of $66,928. So I have a few questions for you. I really want you to tap into this if you're making a decision about joining us today. Whatever you decide, I'm sending you so much love. I have no attachment to it apart from the fact that I want to serve you and I want to see you rise and make a heckload more money by owning your magic and serving others. So if all High-End Empire did was finally make your business profitable and sustainable and nourished you, would it be worth it? And if all it did was give you that diva power where you remember what's really always just within you, right, to reclaim who you are, and you started having these clients lining up for you instead of feeling like you've got to hustle for them all the time, would this experience be worth it, right? And if it only gave you 2 to 3 high ticket clients every month, would it be worth it? And would it be worth it if you gave you that presence and that power to really own your voice with no shame, right? And really claim and take up space and become that leader that you're destined to be? Would it be worth it? I think it would be worth it. And we're not charging you anywhere near that amount, so don't worry. That's not what we're about here. We could charge it, but we don't, because we want to reach so many people, and we want to have at least 100 of you coming into the Diva Mind, and then we're closing it off. So today we also have a 24-hour super sexy bonus, and it is my $1 Million Sales Diva Advanced Sales Training. It's really getting up close and personal, like almost being a fly on the wall, hearing me sell my 25K packages with zero pressure, no manipulation, and no icky sales stuff, and a whole lot of heart. So you actually get to hear me selling on real live calls. Our next 24-hour expiring bonus is our 7-figure webinar Diva Secrets. So that is exactly kind of what I'm doing today, how I create my offerings, my packagings, how I sell, how I package it all up. You even get templates of my PowerPoints and everything. When we're on calls and live together, say you put together a PowerPoint, or you're wanting help with your 3 secrets and how to shape the messaging around that, your ads, we look at all of that for you. We're not a mastermind or a diva mind where we sit around just brainstorming ideas. Whilst we do that together, we actually give you feedback and strategy on your business, right? So to summarize it all, again, we have the 10 core modules, the 1-year business school, all that live training, the 5 bonuses, the 2 24-hour bonuses, and that takes it up to a total of $71,422. So we're offering today a beautiful divine invocation and offer to you guys where we're slashing the price by half. We've called it a $12,000 scholarship. So basically I'm gifting that to you today as my rite of passage to support you into your ascension. And so the price today, if you pay in full for the Diva Mind for 1 full year with all those live classes and the modules and the bonuses, is a pay in full for $10,000. We also have a financing contact. So if you ever want to reach out to Lisa, the way that you can do financing is we'll give you a contact and we'll help you answer that application. But you would want to then start off by to get the price that we have over the next few days, you want to be able to at least purchase the payment plan that we have. So I want to ask you, what is one client worth to you? Is it going to be 5K, 10K, 25K or more? And what is it worth to you to be able to really radically increase your revenue and come home to your power and stand in your Diva Leader Light? So you can see why people pay me privately at least $70,000 and up to work with them. So just to really, if you haven't gotten the point of like what I stand for and what I do. So what I do when someone's working with me is I'm a business strategist. I had 20 years of experience, as I've said, from advertising, capital raise, TV, pitching, producing, all of that, the journalism or whatnot. But what I really do is I tune into you, your vision, your brand, the messaging. I create brands for people, their whole, like, we've just created one for what, so many different students that have come in recently over the last week. I won't give away. I know that a load of them have gone and bought the URLs. They've registered new businesses. So I'm not kind of sitting there in the sidelines saying you need to come up with everything yourself. Of course, I want you to do your work. But what I do is I tap into your energy. I tap into what you're here to teach. And we start crafting brands and messaging and intellectual property. So people wonder how I do that all. I don't know how I do it all. I just do it. Because it's my commitment, it's what I love doing. So there's a part here, of course, I'm really serving myself because I actually love what I'm doing. I'm turned on by it. I'm lit up by it. I have gone through some evolutions of where I have still been that overgiver, and I've definitely eradicated all of that. I'm hiring more people as I'm making more money to support my divas, but they also support me so that when I come to teach, when I come to serve, I'm not an exhausted wreck of a woman. So we move at the speed of light. So if you were to pay me, it's really, the packages to learn all of this and to craft and to have a year's support with me with that much kind of time and energy would be well over $100,000. So I used to sell my CEO Diva Mind at 25K, but today with this scholarship, I'm here to make sure that you slay. And so as I said, you can pay in full today for $9,907. And then you've got the link here to click on that button. If you do want to join us today, pay in full. If that's way too much of a stretch for you, for some of you, that's okay. We also have a 12 monthly payment plan of $997. I've spoken to some women. I don't do a lot of calls anymore just because I'm busy and I'm trying to like really harness my energy at the moment. So I have a beautiful sales team, my Diva advisors, but sometimes I speak to women. I spoke to a beautiful woman who is going to join me, and some people, they've like lost businesses or they've ended marriages or something has happened in their life and they're in that financial, a bit of that scarcity. But if you can start to at least go, okay, let me wrap my head around this. Let me get $1,000 together to start investing in this. It's scary as shiz, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's the kind of energy that we're looking for people to join this. Yes, it is scary. Yes, it may make you feel like you're going to vomit, but you're going to be held with such sublime support and such sublime excellence and love by myself, the other teachers that are teaching, and your community of sisters, that I'm inviting you to do it. I have other cheaper offers, fine, whatever. But this is the offer that I have that allows you to have so much support so that you can rapidly rise financially and energetically, right? And I have tried to make it relatively affordable. For some people it's a stress, for some people it's absolutely probably impossible, but there's some of you who you can make it work for you if you leap. You can make it work for you. If you really want to get the money together and you make a choice to rise, you'll get it together. Because I know when I was broke and I wanted to do my first nutrition course, I was able to manifest the $4,000 that I needed and I made it happen. So today you have two choices. Choice number one, you can do nothing and stay where you're at and allow things to get worse. Because when you're called and you've made a vow to rise, which I know everybody here has decided to do already, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't. You have made a vow. I can feel it energetically, guys. What happens is, and this is not, I'm not trying to do fear-based, you know, anything here. What I know to be true is that if you've made a vow and your soul and you're ready to do this, and you probably held yourself back for decades like I did, when you don't move forward, things don't stay the same. They get worse. The universe will pick on you and pick on you and pick on you until you say, F it, I am done with this. And usually it's at that point where you actually make the change. But if you're sort of not that much in pain yet, but kind of in pain and you're just over it, I'm inviting you to say F it and do it and back yourself. So the second choice is backing yourself. The second choice is saying, I am ready. I am doing this despite any limits, despite any losses that I've had, despite being let down by a million different coaches who said that they were going to do all this stuff for me and never did, because that's not me. That is not me. I have an impeccable reputation, and you only get a reputation of delivering the way I deliver from actually really doing it, from actually being that person. My husband and I were in business together. We turned off our ads last year. Why did we turn off our ads? So we stopped our growth. We did that because I knew energetically that I couldn't deliver on my service and on my word and deliver at the level that I wanted to do. Most people will not do this, and maybe it was silly to some degree, but for me, I was like, okay, I just need to deliver on this product. I need to deliver on High-End Empire. So I did. So I put everything in it, and we stopped getting on calls. We didn't have a sales team at that time. We just couldn't do it because we were giving so much. And some people would probably think I'm crazy, and other coaches would think that's a bit nuts, but that's what we did. And we did it for two reasons. We did it because we wanted to serve our people, and we wanted to make sure that they got results. It makes me feel good because it's ethical and it's aligned, and I trusted that once I put on my ads and started reaching more people again, that the growth would come. But I kind of really needed to do that for my own self as well, to make sure I needed to go to a new level. I needed to work out, how am I going to manage that energy? How am I going to manage these different frequencies that are coming in at me? And I needed to cultivate a different resonance with myself, and I couldn't do that by running in and bringing in more people and selling and bringing in more people. I had to do that healing work on myself, and I knew what I could handle. And so that's why now I can handle a deeper level of frequency and service, because I've done that work on myself, right? So we only actually turned on our ads again and started this whole process about a month ago, just to let you know. Well, kind of a month ago. We only started running ads to a webinar. This is a bit of strategy, by the way. I'm just breaking off into strategy. People think, oh, you know, she just sold X amount of dollars and got all these people and signed into her Diva mind. But the truth is, just a little bit of strategy there. I want to teach this to you. You don't build like a great webinar and a following without what you call warm leads. So as you know, the opt-in that we teach and all the stuff that we cultivate with our opt-ins and our free lead magnets and everything, that creates what you call warm leads. That means people who've seen you time and time again. Sometimes I have fresh people, they've never heard of me before, of course, and they buy from you, right? But that's usually quite rare. So what you need to do is create, you know, these free different offers so people can fall in love with you, trust you, and see the potency of your work. And then you'll start inviting them into trainings like this. Also, the dollars that you usually tend to spend is a lot less on a lead magnet than a webinar. So anyway, just a little bit of strategy for you. I want you to leave with a lot of stuff. So this is my sacred invitation to radically up-level your business and your life as you claim your sovereignty. Time, right? We've denied ourselves so much through the abuse, the burning at the stake, all that pain that we've gone through, past lifetimes and this lifetime, and I've definitely gone through it, literally having life-death experiences. I used to suffer from chronic anxiety. I used to sit there in bed after I lost my company before I started coaching, saying to my husband every day, do you think I can do it? Do you think I can do it? Do you think I'll be okay? What if I do this? What if I do that and it doesn't work? Oh my God, I was like that for 2 years. And then one day I thought, frig this for a bad joke. I'm going to pull out my big girl panties. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to forgive myself for the losses when I lost my company. because I trusted someone who was not trustworthy, and I did that. I did that. My intuition told me to run, and I didn't. The universe gave me an opportunity to run, and I didn't. So I had to forgive myself. And so no matter where you are at financially right now, I will tell you this. There's a lot of messaging on the internet with other women bagging other women about making money online. Oh my God, it's like, it's actually makes me nauseous, because it's caught up in their perception and projection of what they believe is possible. You are a creatrix. If you take the content and the teachings I have to teach you, you can start selling pretty much immediately. It's up to you. You can wield magic. You can change your financial situation pronto when you clear the way and do the work that is needed to rise. So don't buy into that. How long is it going to take? I used to tell myself stories like it's going to take years and years to build my business. Oh my God, getting my first 100K. That was a huge milestone. And you know what? You know, I teach this as a manifestation technique. You know, when my husband, he lost his job when we launched my CEO Diva Business School 2 years ago. We only had 3 to 4 months before we were going to pretty much be broke and just relying on my salary, right? And I didn't want to just sell those big packages anymore. It would have been okay, but really, to be honest with you, it made me feel like, I don't know, I felt kind of stuck. It wasn't what I was supposed to do. I was meant to serve many, many people in this way. And it was scary. There were days where I felt like I was crawling out of bed to do it, but I did it. I kept moving through the resistance, and I started sticking up sticker notes all around the house, like, you know, 3 by 10K sessions, 2 by, and I'd reach one goal and I'd let it go and dissolve and go to the next one and the next one and the next one. And I remember to this day, no joke, I was so busy serving, I was so busy showing up that fear went to the side. All I focused on, like right now, if I was thinking about myself and about appealing to you or attached to the outcome of this, I would be like, just, it's just not the way. What I focus on is me being a light and serving, and then you will make your choice, right? And I'm detached from it, and it's freeing, and it's liberating, and it's gentle, and it's loving, and it's yummy, and it's liberating, right? And I remember through doing that consistently and showing up and getting out of my own way and putting my insecurity to the side, because you can always pick up that shit later on, right? You just show up, you just show up, you just show up consistently, and you know what happens? You start selling and selling and selling and serving and serving and serving with a level of energy people won't even know. People don't even know. They thought I was the biggest loser. My family thought I was a loser. My dad thought I was a loser. My mum thought I was a loser. I remember my mother saying to me, everything you do, Ingrid, makes my skin crawl. Everything you do, you're a big fat loser. And I had these fears of like ending up having to live with my mum. And I've got a great mother, and she's a beautiful woman, and she just has, you know, her wounds, as we all do, and she was trying to probably do her best to like ship me into shape or something, but I had to just trust myself. And I do remember the day though that Chris looked at my husband, who works with us, who will also be supporting you if you join us. And he's amazing, by the way. Real great tech guru head, but he's also a strategist. He's really good at what he does, and a very loving, gentle soul. He'll be there to support you. No ego whatsoever. Probably needs a little bit more amped up. He's my divine man. Loving energy around him at the moment. Right, darling?
All good, darling.
It's all good, darling. Because he's really amazing. But we share everything. There's no sort of hiding around anything that we're going through in our journeys in our lives, because our divine men need support too. So the story was though that I remember Chris telling me how much money had come through our PayPal, and at that point it was $500,000, and we just looked at each other. We were incredulous. We were in shock. We were like, what? Because we just started focusing so much not on the money, on showing up. Yes, we have strategy. Yes, we want to sell. Yes, we want to serve people. Of course, we want to make money. But that's not really the focus. The focus is on the message and the service and what we can change. And the money comes if you have the strategy right? And so we started to get the money. We started to have the money. And we weren't even sure what was going on with our finances. We were so busy just doing the work. And I don't know, I mean, it wasn't this major breakthrough, I suppose, but I suppose it made me feel like, wow, the work that I did do, the showing up, the service that I did do, and then yes, I priced it accordingly. It created something huge for us, and that allows me to, you know, my dad is in hospital right now. He has bone cancer, and I was at the hospital last night. I had Lisa massaging me today because I felt physically ill when I saw his bags and his stuff. You know, I took the whole day off yesterday. I had my team supporting me, teaching. I can be there for my daughter. I can take days off to be with my husband when I want to. This is all relatively new for me. As I've allowed myself to receive more, as I've allowed myself to give and receive in equal measure for the service that I provide, you know, and that makes me feel deeply humbled. Sometimes to the point where I want to get just down on my hands and knees. I mean, I did that a long time ago. I got down on my hands and knees when I was very sick. I had a very deep illness. It was really a soul illness, but I had a poisonous mass in my uterus, and I really had no one to turn to at that time. My family stuff was in complete and utter shambles. And I remember getting down on my hands and knees and praying. And so if anyone's really suffering at the moment today, no matter what you're going through, whether you join us today or not, I just want to say, get down on your hands and knees, start praying, girl, and never get up. Never get up. Always stay in divine prayer, because you will be supported. Okay? So I'm just humbled by the life that I've been able to create, humbled, and it has taken work and it has taken dedication, but what I receive back now in return is literally like I'm in awe of my experience, of the women that I get to work with. They're just incredible. So my legacy today, someone asked me what my legacy was. My legacy is all the students that I have, because then they rise up and they become deeply empowered, and then they go and pass it and pay it forward. So this is really about a deeply emotional and energetic rewiring, High-End Empire. This is not your average business course at all. You'll never be the same when you remember who the F you are. There's no more putting others before your well-being. There's no more sucking up the shiz to make others happy. There's no more running your company like a friggin' charity. That is done forever now, today. There's no more shame, no more victimhood, no more scarcity, no more suffocation, and no more self-betrayal. Turning that struggle, turning the abuse that you may have received inward, and that becomes the inner war. There's a war against women, and then women take that on, and we make it that there's something wrong with us, and that has to end. The way that we fight back is that we rise into power. That's the way that we fight back. And we fight through love. We fight through claiming our power. We fight through our expansion. And we will change how this world is run. The power needs to come out of the hands of the egoic, wounded masculine and come into the hands of the divine feminine. This is a whole new frigging reality, the one that you've never allowed yourself to receive, because you've been trapped in good girl, people pleaser, subservient BS. The Diva Mind is a sacred birthing process into becoming the embodied, fierce, loving and poetess Diva consciousness, that which you are. It is also about remembrance. It's a reclaiming, it's a resurrection, it's a rebirth into your power. So as I said, the total value is $71K, and today we are inviting you to join at $997 US per month, or you can pay in full for $10,000. So what's final snapshot, slide 111. So here's what you get. You get your 10 advanced training modules, the Super Diva on Fire bonuses, lifetime access to the training, all the updates, actually 48 live video coaching calls, actually 36 live Priestess Diva healing classes where you actually get absolute beautiful healing and rewiring on the calls, 1 year membership into the Diva community where you have access to myself, Chris, and Lisa, who's also working on my team, Monday to Friday, and that's about it. That's what you get. And so the time is now. I'm inviting you, Diva, to join. We go beyond to ensure that you rise, I think I've made that very clear, into your divinity and riches. And when you also join, you receive a 45-minute strategy session with one of our initiation advisors. So they get you to help and craft your first offer. So that happens in the first few weeks of you joining. You just need to watch a couple of the modules. We have a specific process that you need to go through so that you're fully ready to receive on that private. So that's a private coaching call valued at $997. and spaces are limited. So we sold a whole lot of spaces a few weeks ago, and I'm probably going to be closing, well, I will close it off in the next few months. It just depends on how many webinars we do and and how many people come on board, but we will be closing off this space soon, in the next few months, if not sooner. So I just want you to have a quick think of the ROI. So when you spend 2K in your first few months, you have that potential return, guys, of between 10 and 20K. Not everyone, but most, when you apply the work. So you then can move into your multi-six figures with grace, working a frig load less. This is, as I said, not a get quick, I can't even say that. Get rich quick scheme, but High-End Empire will change how you make money forever when you apply the process, when you do the work. This is the new law of Diva education. It's a really relatively small investment to make to learn how to master making money online as you unleash your holy Diva power forever. And what you learn with us will have a compound effect. So what do I mean by that? So you're going to learn it with us, you're going to master it, you're going to go through this huge integration, you're going to start selling high end, and then it's going to keep going and going and going and going and going and going, because this is a mastery. This is a new level of doing business that will never leave you. So year by year by year by year, you will be using, as I demonstrated with clients who worked with us in our first round, those women have gone on to create formidable multi-six-figure businesses. Not all of them, but there is quite a few of them who have, or at least are in the 150K, 200, 250K now, and they keep growing and growing and growing. And a lot of it is from the foundational work that they did here with us. So, as you all know, traditional education, seeing you go to university, will have you spend up to 50K a year, even $200,000 for a degree, so you can just get a job, or like my husband loves to go on about, just over broke. And what I'm saying here, guys, is this is, as I said, a small investment to make to actually have untapped, unlimited income. I've worked corporate, I've worked for the big boys. And you know what? If you want to make even 150 grand, 200 grand, maybe even 300 grand a year, you got to work like a dog. You even have to work like a dog for some of these companies at 50 grand, right? And usually there's still a lot of patriarchal conditioning. And I just had someone I know, I have girlfriends that are lawyers, I have girlfriends that are general managers of major companies, meeting with royalty, meeting with bigwigs from all around the world, but they're still sort of beholden to the company. When you have your own company, you have what I would call real freedom, even if it's just that you want to earn a clear 75K or 100K. It's a pretty different kind of situation, right? When you get to call the shots, you get to be on holiday, you get to be there for your kids if they need you, you get to go to hospital if your child or someone or your parent, God forbid, is having a difficult time, or like my father dying. I get to take off a month. I get to go on retreat in April, right? I choose. I don't need permission to go and use the toilet and get a key from someone to give me permission. I don't need that. I'm not proving myself. I'm working in alignment with what feels good to me. So really, the path of an entrepreneur, whilst yes, at the beginning it can be challenging, when you have the tools and the skill set and the mastery, it actually becomes a much more gentle, loving, beautiful, aligned, expansive, very femme actually process in a way, because you get to really, the more that we have also the masculine structure which holds the femme structure, the more you can actually relax into and have divine time. I even my staff members, like I have a conscious business, I run my ship how I want it to be for me. So when Lisa wants to take time off, to also take time off and have that time, because we are working with the natural laws of what it is to be a woman and have a vagina and have female hormones. So you have that freedom when you have your own business to call the shots and really have freedom, not just financially, but by making your own choices and having the lifestyle that you want to have, whatever that might be for you, right? So I just want to really have you tap into for a second that the e-learning business online is a $107 billion industry, and it's time for you to claim piece of it. So sometimes when you've been caught up in a lot of lack, it's hard to see that how much money and how much opportunity is really there, but it is absolutely enormous. There's nothing stopping every single woman here on this training today to have a seven-figure or even multi-seven-figure business. There's really not. It's like just a new way of thinking about what it's really going to take for you, a new mindset around making money, a new mindset around allowing more abundance into your life. So I want you to sink that in. Or sink that in. Does that make sense? I want you to sink into that, right? That expansive feeling of receiving, of having money, of having time off, of working in alignment with your body, working in alignment with your desires, right? So I think, oh, we have a pay in full bonus that I haven't mentioned, and then I'm going to wrap up the show. We have a pay in full bonus, which is my $1 Million Diva money code. It's 6 neural rewiring, actually 7 now, energy clearing meditations and videos. This was actually created by a divine healer diva goddess friend of mine, Rachel, and it's this really beautiful comprehensive healing program with tapping, neural rewiring, brain repatterning classes. So we're covering everything to do with the divine mother, divine father, lots of karmic wound healing, a lot around receiving. So they cover all these different elements that you need to probably have more kind of transformation on and more release on, so that you can actually deeply receive. So that's our one. It's valued at $1,497, and we have that today when you pay in full at $10,000. Plus, for the first few people, I'll say 3 people who join today, you also get 6 by 30-minute private coaching sessions with my team. That's not with me, but that's with my team. They're amazing. They've been trained by me, and that's valued at $3,000, but that's only for the first 3 people today who pay in full. Okay, guys. Also, oh, what else did I say here? I created something else. Oh, plus, I put something else in. 2 extra people who sign up today with a pay in full get a 45-minute strategy and healing session with me, valued at $2,000. I forgot that I put that in there. Okay, so for the first 2 people who sign up, you actually also get sessions with me, and I don't even really do one-on-one much work anymore. So if that is for you, then scoop those up right now, and you also have a session with me as soon as you want it. And that's a pay in full bonus value of now $6,497. So you get 6 of the 30-minute sessions with my team and that 1 45-minute session with me, but that's only for the first 2 people who sign up and pay in full. So that's it, guys. There's a link. We have that scholarship for you. Usually I would sell my mastermind starting at $24K. Today it's the $997, pay in full, or you have the payment plan at $997. And as you know, information does not work alone, so you do need that support if you really want to claim this for yourself. And I'm really inviting you to master making money in a whole new and graceful way, and we cannot wait to show you how to build your empire. If you're already at about $20,000 a month, I'm not going to go through this all again, that's just a bit strange that it's repeating itself. If you do already make at least $20,000, you can also speak to my team at ceodivaconsult.com. Anyone can book in a call if you want to speak to my team, or you can message me on Facebook and ask me questions and I'll get back to you. If you want to message, ask your phone number or message me personally. Chris is, oh great, thanks Chris. You can book in for a call at ceodivaconsult.com. If you're already over $20,000, we have one other offer that the girls on my team can run through for you, and it does come with private time with me throughout the year. It's a whole different offer. And you get lots of private coaching throughout the year as well, so you can definitely reach in with them. But it's really for people who are already making a decent amount of money, who just really want to up the ante and double or triple their income very rapidly. So no one can build your dreams but you, divine woman, and you know that, right? At the end of the day, it's your choice, and you have to make the choice, whatever is right for you at this time. But I'm inviting you to leap, and I just want to really reach out from my heart to yours to thank you for your time, your beauty, your divinity, your courage, your presence. It isn't easy at the beginning to do this work, especially when we're releasing that old conditioning and diving into a completely new dimension. I know that it can feel very foreign as we're rising up, but you are going to be held like you've never been held before, because we're all going through it together. We don't have a hierarchical system in the way that I teach. I'm with you every way. We are a two-way street. If you have any questions or there's something that you're not getting, all you need to do is reach out to me or to Chris or to Lisa and to ask for support. We create new videos all the time. So it's a very sort of like there's a lot of communication. It's not like I say you're going to get this package and then I'm never there. If anyone on this call is still here and this training that's still here, who's part of that Diva Mind group right now, and you want to let them know, am I there on the group? Do I show up? You might want to let them know. And I thank you for that.
A couple of questions.
Is there a couple of questions? Okay.
Yeah, so Jenny wanted to know, would this still be for me if I'm not completely clear on the message? Because I know that's the essence of the power and the connection with others.
Absolutely. That's our expertise. We will help you channel that in. I'm going to get you doing exercises from the get-go, and I don't mean this from ego, but I'm laser lucid clear on how I teach this and what I do with this. So you're going to basically get that probably in the first week to 2 weeks. It just depends, and I will help you with that. So most people aren't clear on their messaging. It's fine. I wasn't clear. I didn't even realize I wasn't clear. So we actually teach you not only how to get clear on that messaging, but then how to articulate that verbally, energetically, also in the written word around your messaging. So we're going to what's the word? Hold space for you with that, and then probably inspire you to go even deeper and deeper and deeper with that, right? So there's all these exercises that I will get you to do, writing exercises. Right now when I'm teaching, guys, at the moment, there's people who are praying for you to show up for them, praying, but they can't hear you. They can't see you. You're invisible to them because you're not articulating, not that you're not working hard enough. And this isn't about working hard. This is about crafting your messaging and your voice and shining up in a way that people can ascertain exactly what you do. Most women aren't even articulating what they do. So it's going to be a journey. You're going to get that message on point very, very quickly, and then you're going to kind of harness it more and more and more until it lives in every single cell of your being. When I was first getting clear about my messaging, I had to write it down. I can say verbally here to you, I stand for the political, economic, and social power of all women, right? I teach my girls to get online and take a stand in video and say, what do you stand for? What is your 1 minute? We do elevator pitches, we do messaging, we write hooks and titles, and I help you reframe them. So the level of support you get here literally that's coming from my students. It's unparalleled. Yeah, I think I've answered that question.
And just one more. Dolores wanted to know, do you consider $2,500 as a potential price point for a high ticket offer?
Yeah, okay. Very good question, Dolores. Hello. Thank you for that question. Great question. To begin with, yes, if you're working one-on-one with someone, I need to look at, well, what's really the transformation that they're receiving? Because they're not really paying, remember, they're not paying for your time, they're paying for the transformation and for your expertise. Right now, Dolores, you're probably not fully claiming the level, of transformation, the return that you bring to people, right? It's not worth $2,500. Doesn't mean, excuse me, I keep having hiccups. It doesn't mean that you can't start there. When you are the CEO diva of your own ship, your prices and what you charge is up to you. So that means that you can change your price at any point. So I'd probably get you to start at maybe 2.5, but I really want to look at what you're offering, or we'll raise it a bit. And then we'll craft that offer, and then you'll sell 1 or 2 at that price point, and then we're going to keep probably raising it from there. $2,500 would probably become more like a down sell. So if someone doesn't, and I'm teaching a bit here, which is good, it's really, I have lots to share, want to share it. So you'll have a high ticket offer. Your high ticket offer later on might be 5K, 7K, 10K. I have heaps of students that are doing that. I have lots of students selling, Ninki selling 7K packages. Her down sell for a digital is around 2,500, by the way. But we might get it up to like a 7K for private, depending on what the transformation is. And then a downsell, if they don't buy, to get them started off, might be a private session or private package with you over like a 1 month or a 6-week or 2-month immersion at 2,500. And then we'll keep changing changing prices as your frequency and as your self-love changes. Because later on you'll be like, what? I was trying to sell that package for $2,500. What was I thinking? Does that make sense? Is there any more questions? Does anyone want to ask me about, are we going to wrap it up? But if anyone has anything that might not even be business related, you want to ask me anything, you can. Otherwise, we're going to close the doors on this. All good? We're all good? Everyone saying goodbye to me? Okay, guys, lots of love. Thank you for your time again. A million blessings. Mwah.